Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a video covering Dareu's A950 4K Pro. This is the plastic version on the right, the mag alloy on the left. And I have to say that I'm actually kind of surprised by the build quality on both of these mice. I think when I first get a mouse from a company that I personally don't have any experience with, and one that just isn't very popular here in the States, I always have the question of how is the build quality going to feel and how's the performance going to be? And taking you guys over into Apex, I have to say that the performance on the mouse is actually pretty damn solid. I didn't have any issue with the sensor. The 4K performance felt good and worked as intended. I didn't have any sensor skipping, stuttering, and the shape actually fared pretty well in game for my hand size and my grip. To me, it most similarly resembled the performance that I have on the G Pro Superglide 2. I think it does have a somewhat similar shape, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Overall, I didn't run into any issues while playing with either of these mice except one, which I'll get into in the build quality segment. But I do just want to reiterate that for the price to performance ratio here with a 20% coupon on the website for the mag alloy version, it's a pretty damn compelling purchase if anyone's been interested in magnesium alloy. One thing I do want to reiterate is the price of the mouse is $144 with a 20% coupon. The coupon's easily to be found on Google. If you just type Dareu A950 Pro, you'll see it there through Dareu directly. At $144, that makes it the cheapest magnesium alloy mouse that I know of compared to the Starlight 12 and compared to the Viper Mini Signature Edition. And I do think that in terms of build quality, there is just nothing to harp on in terms of the structural integrity and the feel of the magnesium. If anybody's been interested in magnesium, I think it feels good. I mean, when you put your hand on it after not using it for a little bit, it just has that cold to the touch feel. It's just kind of nice and refreshing. And of course, you save a little bit on weight. Compared to the plastic version, I do think the mag alloy just is nicer in the hand. It feels more premium, of course, but I have no issues here with the build quality of the plastic version. There's no switch grinding on mouse 1 and mouse 2, barely any side flex, pre and post travel on all my buttons, really nothing to harp on. The only thing that I would say I didn't like the default skates. They were okay, but a little tuggy on the mouse pads I'm currently using. I did swap the default skates to Tiger Ice V2 dots, which worked absolutely perfectly fine. You guys can see the button here on the bottom for Bluetooth and 2.4 wireless, and the DPI button as well. The only thing that I really disliked, I disliked the software. I noticed that when the software was on, it would kind of lag my computer at times. So keep that in mind, but you can set your settings and then just get rid of the software. And the one big build quality issue I had on one of these copies, it was actually the mag alloy. My mouse 5 was just not working properly. I would push mouse 5 in game and the button would get stuck until I would push mouse 4. So very odd issue. And I actually did have to change the PCB out of the plastic version and put it into the mag version to fix that. So I'm not sure how widespread that issue would be, but that was just a very odd issue out of the box. Now, in terms of the shape comparisons, I want to get into what I think this feels like the most. A950 Magnesium is not going to be a magnesium version of the Maya. Please don't think that is the case, but I know the Maya is new. I know a lot of people are interested in it, and at least you can get a size reference with the A950. The A950 feels a lot wider in the hand than the Maya. The Maya is a pretty narrow mouse. It feels good so far. I'll have a review soon. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of that size bracket comparison. In terms of what I would liken the A950 to the most in my mind, it is not a G Pro clone. What it feels like, though, is a little bit of a shorter G Pro Superlight in terms of its overall length. And then if somebody was to take the hump of the G Pro Superlight and mush it down a little bit, it gets flatter across that mid body at the peak of the hump, providing a little bit more stability. The click height feels a little bit lower in terms of where your fingers rest. And that is kind of it. It's kind of close to the G Pro, but modified. Again, not as long, and that flatter hump across the mid body. And then mouse 1 and mouse 2, my fingers feel like they sit just ever so slightly lower. Overall, at the point of the where my thumb hits and where my fingers hit when I am gripping the mouse, the grip width feels rather similar. I think that it works for a wide variety of hand sizes and grips. I could claw this, I could fingertip it, I could palm it. Overall, I think it's a pretty versatile grip and one that, again, feels quite good. If you're in the camp of somebody who liked the G Pro, but you wanted the hump to be a little bit flatter and a little bit lower, and the mouse to be just not quite as long, this could be a pretty solid option for you. And one thing I would point out is the plastic version comes in at around the same weight as the magnesium version, 54 grams and 54 grams. Of course, I don't have skates on the plastic version right now, but the do-it-yourself dots are really not that heavy at all, maybe a gram, gram and a half. One thing I would say is the coating on the plastic version is nice and sticky. Whatever they have on this, it actually feels quite good. The magnesium version of the mouse also definitely has a nicer coating, in my opinion, than the Viper Mini Signature Edition and the Starlight 12. It just feels dry, and it's very smooth, but almost feels chalky. I just get a really nice grip on the mag version of the mouse, so I do think it's one of the better feeling textures on a mag mouse and coatings. I would say, though, at 54 grams, there are lighter mice on the market, so it's really depending on if you want that magnesium material over the plastic, because you do get savings basically for the identical mouse. $80 for plastic, $144 magnesium with the coupon. Both of these, I think it's a shape that is different enough from a G Pro that if you're a G Pro lover, you might want to try this if you've been looking for something different, but an easy crossover coming from the G Pro. Both of these performed really nicely for me, and I can definitely recommend both of these mice. The build quality, the performance, everything felt pretty good to me. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.